Hi everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today's episode is about bringing back a new piece. It's dedicated to my student Benjamin, who has been asking me to do this for quite some time. He said, will you just record your practice session and kind of talk out loud as you do it? Now, I'm not going to bring back the entire piece because it would probably take me about an hour and a half or 2 hours to get through the whole piece, but I'll do the first 20 or 30 minutes of this practice session. Before I get started, I want to publicly thank all of those who have donated to our Christmas album. The support has been totally overwhelming. We are so grateful for your support. Thank you so much. We still have a long way to go, so if you'd like to donate, the link is in the comments section below. Those who we'd like to thank personally are Michael Winwood, Richard Pavesi, Martin Taylor, Tammy Coons, Melissa Brown, Carmen David, Heather Poole, Jason and Tammy Hewlett, Dee and Bob Partika, Matthew Shuk, Tyler Patterson, Nikki Tanner, William Benz, Stephen Shu, the Hilton family, Poyi Tung, Eddie Force, Dana Wong, Chuchu Rosenblum, Susie Stein, I don't know about this one, Jinke Guo Shui, I hope is how you say it, Christy K, Edna Fenoyal, Lindsay Despain, Noah Gill, Jean Cannon, Kate Handley, Kathy Knowlton, Reiner and Kelly Erickson, and Skip Danes. And also I'd like to thank Kevin McCarthy for his donation to Josh Wright Piano TV. Thank you so much. Recording an album is a super expensive endeavor, and we really appreciate your support. So thank you very much. Let's get started with the Ballade number 3. I have to play this at a concert in a couple of days, and I'm not on my normal piano. That's why I'm sitting on a book. This bench is a little bit low. I kind of like a little bit higher bench position. I like to start at the end, personally, so I'm just going to start on the last page, nothing fancy, and I'm just going to start with this last section. I've been bringing back the 4th Ballade. I just finished bringing that back a little while ago, so I'm pretty warmed up, but haven't really looked at this 3rd Ballade much due to the holidays, so I've been procrastinating. I have an in-home concert in a couple of days, and I just thought I'd show you a little bit about how I get ready for those things, how I bring back a piece. So let's get started. All right, so I'm just going to start with right hand just to get a nice feel for it, nice and slow. Okay, left hand. It's a little weak. Sometimes I'll just see, hey, how's this feel in full tempo? So I'll just go ahead and give it a try like I just did. So. What I'm doing right now is I'm kind of going through and seeing where I feel a little bit weaker. My hands are a little bit cold right now, so I know I just said I warmed up, but took a break, came back down, and now they're kind of feeling cold again. So I know some of this, a little bit of the glitches are due to my hands being a little bit colder, but they'll warm up. Also, it's due to the fact that I just haven't played this for a few months, and I just want to get used to this. So, by the way, a lot of people are probably watching saying, "Ah, what a wimp! Why is he complaining about his cold hands? He's just blaming it on all these other things." I'm actually telling you what you know I don't try to sugarcoat things in these videos. So really, looking at your bench position, looking at the temperature of the room you're in, things like that are things you want to consider. If it's freezing in your house and you're trying to, practice this, it's going to be a lot harder than if it's warm and your fingers are moving. So something to consider. Another thing I find that helps, like I just did right there, is just playing things loudly. And just playing it loudly a couple times kind of resets the technique. So that feels good as well. I want that to have a little bit more direction, even though it is kind of the climax. Always thinking about artistry at every point of the process, even if it's just first learning it, but especially when I'm bringing something back, I like to actually go a little bit too far with it so that when I'm actually in full tempo, it kind of evens out. You'll notice that the faster, I tell this to my students all the time, the faster you start going with your dynamics, the window starts to close a little bit on how extreme things are, because when you're playing really fast, it's harder, in my opinion, to play super loud or super soft. Things kind of get mushed into the mezzo piano, mezzo forte range, so I like to actually overdo it a little bit. Just for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and move on. If there was any more issues in there, I would probably do that again. But as you're going to see, I'm going to do the rest of that page in another section, and then I'll play the whole piece. If you're bringing back a piece that's newer than this is an old piece for me, so it doesn't take that long to bring back. It comes back quickly. I would do smaller sections if it's newer, and you can do these bigger sections if it's old and you're really confident with it, you've performed it before. So just a thought. All right, let's just take it from the top of the page. It's 3.5 lines. It's kind of a big section, but not huge. I'll try to jerk my hand up as fast as I can to get there before I actually need to play it. And sure enough, I'll take a little time. A lot of people, when they take time, they get lazy. They go, and then they still miss it, even though they've got extra time. So don't let taking time make your hand move slower. It's that you're going to get there just as fast, but you're going to make sure that you've got it. Sometimes you'll notice that you make the stupidest mistakes of all, which is like, wow, it's like a half an inch away and you still missed it. So sometimes you just want to reinforce those. felt strong. Okay, now let me back up a little bit more. Felt good. Back up a little bit more. See, I went through it slowly one time straight through, but then I just build backwards throughout there. Let's see. Okay, I want to go to that last point, but I also want this to feel... So maybe I'll back off of this one a little bit. By the way, I have a full pro practice video on this if you're interested in that. I'll also link that in the comments section below. It's a full length, I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes. I can't remember how long, lesson on this. So. One other thing, I usually record on a Steinway. This is a Boston, and this Boston is a beast. It is such heavy action, and I notice sometimes my fingers start to hurt a little bit on. This is like one of the only pianos I've ever experienced that on. The action is so stinking heavy that it's just like I start to kind of feel a little bit of pain sometimes, which you want to avoid immediately. So I'll stop and I'll maybe just take it easy for just, 20, 30 seconds. Pretty good again, so now let me go back in a little bit more focus. I didn't love that. That felt better. Okay, I need to think A flat, G, F sharp. I'm just going to think of that chromatic line there. Let's try the whole page. I do not like that. A lot of people ask me, when do I go back and fix the mistake, and when do I just keep going? When you're playing straight through the entire piece, keep going, because you want to practice performing that way. When you're going and you're doing this little bits of section practice, right hand, left hand, hands together, you want to stop and fix it. You see how I immediately stop and I fix it each time that happens. Otherwise, if you keep playing through mistakes, you'll forget where you made all the mistakes, and then there will still be mistakes present when you go to perform it. So just be careful about that. Let's see. How weak that E flat was, and then my hand is getting kind of tired when I play these. So what I'll do is I'll be real deliberate. So that's my game plan this time. Start from the top of the page to put it in context. was pretty sloppy. I missed like 3 of my jumps. So. Page. The reason I keep doing this whole page thing is because I know you already saw me do that little section perfect. It's maybe the what would you call it? Just like the endurance factor that you would need to get through the whole thing, especially as you're kind of ripping through all these octaves and chords right before that. Your hand can tire if you're not careful. So I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to consciously think to be a little bit more relaxed and loose on the chordal sections so that I save my strength for the more agile or fast passage sections. Oh, for heck's sake. Let's do it again, because it's still not good. All right, that was better. Still not absolutely perfect, but getting close. And it's close to note perfect. And again, you're going to keep refining the artistry, but you're not going to want to spend, 4 hours on that one page because you've got a whole piece to bring back by 3 days from now. So I would move on at that point. What I would do is I would keep taking those chunks and, right hand, left hand, hands together, and then work backwards through the chunks. And you have the option, if you've got the time, by the time you finish each page, to play through all the way straight to the end. If you're at a bigger time crunch, then just play through the end of the page and then move on. Every 3 or 4 pages, though, you're going to want to make sure to play through all the way to the end, or all the way to the end of those 3 to 4 pages if you're moving closer to the beginning, because you want to put things more in context. You want to start feeling bigger chunks. If you go page, 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 page for 20 pages, it's going to be really hard to relate things all together and to play it perfect. But if you've been taking bigger chunks, okay, at least you got 3 or 4 pages in that chunk. At least you got 3 or 4 pages in this. 3 or 4 pages, 3 or 4 pages. So you've at least got like 4 or 5 major chunks. I don't even think this piece is 20 pages. I think it's like 12 or so. I don't know. So it's the most important thing is to make sure you stop as you make your mistakes when you're doing small section practice. And when you're playing through bigger sections, keep going, then go back and fix them. I hope this video has been helpful. If any of you have questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. Thank you again to all the people who've donated. If you want to support this project, the link is below. The links to contact me, the link for this pro practice video, and all of my social media links will also be listed below. Thanks so much and have a great week.